destabilizing times. These are times that are really volatile. These are historical times. There's a basket that's forming with all the slow moving planets in the sky right now. It's a very rare thing happening astrologically. When I say rare, I don't mean rare in the sense that, oh, it's an astrology account. So many astrologers are always saying that, oh, look at this transit, this is a rare transit, pay attention. No, this is not that. This is rare in the truest sense of the word, because a basket like that, which is the astrological phenomenon I'm talking about right now, it's not common. So these times that we're going through right now all over the world, these are extraordinary times, and usual programming doesn't work during times like these, because again, these are not ordinary times. In that spirit, we saw the Ten of Pentacles as the first card, followed by Death, which is shattering of maybe a foundation that has been built over time, over many years, many decades. It's been standing, and this foundation, it's run its course, it served its purpose, and now it's time to lay a new one. We have to let something die at this time so that something new can be born in its place. And it's not easy to do. I mean, any kind of change is not easy to do. Change which is of this nature, transformation which is of this nature, is deeply destabilizing. But especially during situations like these, where something's already established systems that we have relied on for, again, like so many years, decades, maybe even more than that, these are crumbling right now. And that's bound to feel not just uncomfortable, like uncomfortable to describe this would be an understatement, because it feels like it's bigger than that, because it probably is bigger than that. Then we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Bringing about this change, again, like I said, is not going to be easy. It's probably simple in, maybe in your particular case, it may or may not be simple, depending on your life, however this resonates, but it is going to require a lot of work, so it's not going to be easy in that sense. Even if it is simple, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure, because we're gonna have to, like, invent something new in place of what has died or is in the process of dying at this time. We're gonna have to put in a lot of work, and yeah, there are gonna be iterations. Version 1 will not be the best one, so we revise, we redo, we rework the things that require reworking, and we move, we keep moving. And that's essentially what's happening at this time. This can be taken as a collective message for like the bigger picture of us in the world as a whole, as humanity. But it can also be applied to your specific case, as in like your personal life, again based on your specific situation, however it resonates. But yeah, so it's talking about the reworking of a system that has existed for a really long time. It requires reworking, it requires endings and new beginnings, and that is going to require a lot of work. Ten of Swords. The feeling could be like this. Can you see what's happening in the card, the scene that's being depicted? It feels quite brutal when you look at it, right? Like it's a bird that's, I think, dead, and it's got all these like pins. It's raining, so it looks like it got weighed down by all the water that was, falling from the skies, and it fell, and yeah, the pins are like they've stabbed the bird, and then there's this imagery of, I guess it represents the spirit. It represents the element that, like when the body dies, there's still an element that doesn't die, right? It can be called the spirit, the soul, or whatever, and that's very fitting for this moment as well, because we could be feeling like, this situation has, brought us to our absolute rock bottom. Things could be feeling really hopeless. Things could be feeling like, okay, we've reached this point and it's a dead end. It could be that, we don't know what the way forward is, but we know that things cannot be continued as they have been going on till now. And again, like it talks about something having to die and something having to take birth from the ashes. Whenever something dies, there's something born in its place, right? And that is a spirit. That's the essence of the message that is being brought to the surface. That's what you have to remember. If you're in a space where you feel like there's no hope, you're being reminded that there is hope, because yes, this is a situation that is really bad. Objectively, it's really bad, but it's also in a way an awakening. And once you're awake to like all these circumstances, right, you can now make a choice. You can either stay on the ground or you can rise up. And I think in order for us to rise up, the falling, this is important as a precursor to the rise, the awakening. And Three of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles together. This is not the easiest energy. I do realize that it's not, because it's there's a lot of heartbreak over here. There's a lot of unpleasant thoughts, unpleasant beliefs, hopelessness, and disillusionment in the situation for whoever's watching this. But I feel like every time I shuffle my deck and cards fall out, it keeps talking about the same thing in like different ways. So death, right? Death, something dying and then something being born in its place, and the rebirth requiring a lot of work, and again this death being important as a precursor in order for the awakening to happen. If this is rock bottom, the only way is up from here. And Three of Swords, even if you look at this imagery, right, it looks brutal, but when you really pay attention to it, it's a damaged heart being mended, you know, it's being repaired. Yes, the needles hurt, yes, the needles will hurt, but this stitching, mending process is important if the heart has to be repaired and if it has to be brought back to its original aliveness. I guess, I'm not sure if that's the word, but if we have to restore it back to its original health, it'll have to endure the poking by the needles, the poking and the stabbing, which is really, like, objectively, it's unpleasant, it's painful, but it has to be done. Otherwise the heart stays dead and it eventually rots, you know, and the rot festers if it's not taken care of. And yeah, the mending process, it's gonna take time, it's not gonna be immediate, it's gonna take time to heal from this, and it's gonna take time for us to regain stability. It's a slow but sure process. Things will be okay, but it's gonna take time and work. And what's the advice? What's the message that would be helpful in doing all these things? What can we keep in mind to move forward and navigate this situation to the best of our abilities for our highest good? Eight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Cups followed by the Nine of Pentacles. Let it go, surrender, move on. Don't hold on to what you've been clinging on to. If you have been holding on to something that you know should be let go of, because you know that the longer you hold on to, the worse it gets, the worse you feel, the worse the situation becomes. Yes, letting go is it's going to feel painful at first. Yes, there's going to be a lot of repairing. Yes, there's going to be a lot of work in order for us to feel normal again. But holding on is just going to keep us in this state of suffering. And actually, good times await us, but only if we allow ourselves to let go what's unhealthy at this time. Whatever's not working out, let it go. Whatever's unhealthy, let it go. If there's an addiction, if there is a toxic relationship, if there is an unhealthy habit, if there is a system that hasn't been working, if there is a belief that has been holding you back, it's limiting and it's not letting you move forward. If there's anything like that in your context, for you as the watcher of this video, you're being asked to let it go, because what follows, this is, it's like a really wholesome spread, obviously, as you can see, but you'll only be able to enjoy this once you let go of the baggage that you've been carrying so far, and that step cannot be skipped. If you really want this, you have to let go of certain things that are just no longer serving you. So make of that what you will. That's the message for this week. Yeah, that's this is a collective reading. It's also a timeless one, but I mean, barring the initial part of the video where I was talking about the astrology, that's not timeless, but the message that I'm reading, like the cards, right, whatever message that is coming out of the cards is timeless. So apply it however it resonates. And yeah, this is a collective reading, so it might not be very specific. If you want it to be more specific, tailored to your situation, your unique needs as per whatever you're going through right now, your own circumstances, then feel free to reach out to me. I do offer personal readings as well. All the relevant links to the information and how you can book and stuff, all that is given in the description of this reading. And yeah, I hope this made sense. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week.